Hello and welcome, my name is Ryan, I'm also known as RM2KDev. Now in this video I just wanted to show you guys a really cool thing that I'm releasing on the Yo-Yo Games marketplace. It's called Smooth Cameras. Now basically what it is it's a collection of easing functions which are basically very simple mathematical equations which allow you to they're kind of like linear interpolation, but they're not linear. So we have a couple of different functions. We have linear, quadratic, cubic, quart, and also quint as well. So basically with those we're able to create different variations on smooth cameras for our games. So what I've set up here is a base camera object which handles all of the logic, and I'm going to show you the demo camera object, which is the camera that I've got placed in my room currently. So as you can see, it starts by initializing the parent event, which is just an instance of the base camera. It sets the camera speed, and it tells the target variable which object we're going to track. Following that, we have two optional parameters, that is setting the X position of the camera to the target's X position and the Y position of the camera to the target's Y position. This is just so that there's no snapping when the room starts, where the camera actually moves towards the player, unless that's the desired effect. So I'm just going to launch my game and I'll show you guys what happens. So as you can see, I've got a player on the screen in a room full of blocks, and as I move the character around the screen, you'll see we get really smooth camera animations. Now this is achieved through basically using the standard GameMaker view system. There's no complicated code here. What you see is what you get. We basically have a player on the screen whose functionality is just to move up, down, left, and right. We have a camera which is placed into the room where the target is set to the player. And we just have a couple of blocks so that you can see what happens. Now the room settings are standard view room settings, so basically we've enabled the use of views. They're visible when the room starts, and at the very bottom you can see that the room will follow the camera object which we've placed into the room, not the actual player. Now the Smooth Cameras library will automatically handle and calculate all of the camera adjustments as you want them to. You can modulate the camera speed on the fly in your game if you like, so I can slow this down just to demonstrate what that would look like. Now as you can see, I've slowed that camera down, and it spends a little bit more time dragging behind the player now. And I can go ahead and slow that down even further. And you'll see that our camera now moves really slowly. But the effect is always smooth. Additionally to this, the library comes with 5 different easing functions, which I believe I mentioned at the start. Can't remember, this is the third recording of this I've done now. So basically what these mean are, in your base camera event, or actually even in your own instance of the camera event, you can set these variables xmod to be equal to, and then select your own event here. So if you want to use the cubic easing functions on the X direction, you can say xmod equals SCEs cube. And if you would like to use the Y mod as something different, for instance linear, you're able to set 2 different types of easing for both axes. So let me run that application and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So as you can see, we've got different speeds on the different axes. I'm just going to speed that up because that is way too slow. So as you can see, we get a different effect. This would be a unique sort of camera style for some sort of side-scrolling platformer game where it moves up and down much faster than it actually moves left and right. And the reverse of that is that you could also do that the other way around. You could say, for instance, turn the X direction to move faster than the Y direction. And this would be used for, say, a platformer game where you have a limited amount of Y space in your game, but you would like the player to be able to move faster through the world. So for instance, some sort of side-scrolling shooter games. And I'll just demonstrate that here by moving the camera around a little bit. So you can see that the X-axis is moving a lot faster than the Y-axis. So this is just a quick demonstration of smooth cameras. As you can see, it comes extremely cleanly packed away into its own little folders, so it doesn't get in the way of your own project. When you import this, all of the resources are prefixed with sc underscore, which basically means that if you have something in your game already called spr underscore camera, it won't overwrite what you have in your game. Likewise, if you have a script called sc underscore, or if you had a script called ease linear, then the smooth cameras variant won't overwrite your own existing implementations of any object that you have in your game. So check this out on the Game Maker Marketplace as usual. Subscribe to me on Twitter, follow my YouTube, check out RM2K Dev on Facebook, like and subscribe, share the video, check out the Patreon page that's up now. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.